Hey guys, thank you for liking, commenting, and subscribing to my videos. I really appreciate it. I've set up a Patreon page where you can support this channel directly, and I've even set up some rewards so I can give back to those who choose to give to me. I want to make the best videos I possibly can, and you can help me do that. Thank you very much, and enjoy the video. Sup man, and welcome to the Redneck's Guide to Ho Yi. Ho Yi is a Chinese warrior that has some tremendous boxing potential, some really fun to use abilities, an excellent escape, a stun, a knock-up, and a large AoE ultimate that can deal some serious teamfight damage. But before we get to how to play Ho Yi, let's take a look at his lore. So, a long time ago, for an unknown reason, 10 suns rose above the horizon. And everybody was like, man, 10 suns? Let me level with you. One sun on a hot day, pretty bad. 10 of them? I ain't gonna stand for that, man. And neither did the Emperor God D. June, who was like, man, we gotta do something about this sun. It's withering our crops. It's melting our metals, for goodness sake. I'm gonna give Ho Yi a call and see what's up. So he calls Ho Yi, and Ho Yi's like, what's up, bro? And then the Emperor God was like, hey, man, you need to take out these suns or do something about them because, they're kicking our ass down here. So he was like, yeah, man, I got you. Ho Yi descends from the heavens to earth and looks at the sun and says, hey, man, y'all need to get the hell out of here. And they're like, we don't think so, bro. And he fires a warning shot. He's like, y'all really need to move. They're like, nah. So he's like, fine. And then he shoots down 9 of the suns that explode in a fiery red light and then descend to the earth as 3-legged ravens. Go figure. But after that, the 10th sun says, oh, man, we're cool, bro. I'm just going to go down below the horizon here, man, just leave me alone. And then Ho Yi was able to save the earth from just a ridiculous sweltering heat. Now that we've taken a look at Ho Yi's lore, let's take a look at his abilities. Now his passive is pretty nice, and it's sun touched. After taking a critical hit, Ho Yi can't be critically hit again for 3 seconds. Now this gives you a tremendous amount of boxing potential against enemy critters. Like most hunters end up going crit, and a lot of assassins do too. And since you can only be crit once every 3 seconds, that means that enemies that have a lot of their damage devoted to crit aren't going to be hitting you that hard, because they can only crit on you once every 3 seconds. Now again, a crit's still going to hurt, but only being able to be crit once every 3 seconds means they can't just crit you down instantly. So this is going to give you some extra sticking around power, giving you some boxing potential. Now his first ability is Ricochet, and Ricochet is a super sweet ability. What Ricochet does is you're going to fire an arrow out that can ricochet off of walls. It's going to go out to 70 units, dealing 75 to 255 plus 65% of your physical power and damage. It doesn't sound like a lot of damage, but if you hit a wall, it will ricochet off and travel another 70 units, and then it can ricochet one more time for another 70 units. And it gets even better, which is that every time it bounces, it gains a 40% damage bonus, up to 2 times. So if you can hit with both bounces, after the second bounce, you're getting an 80% damage bonus. Now that is a ton of damage. It also has a neat interaction with your second ability, which is Mark of the Golden Crow. To use Mark of the Golden Crow, you're going to aim your ground target at an enemy god, and then you're going to mark them for 10 seconds. While they are marked, they're going to take 1 to 5% more damage from all of your attacks and abilities for every 10% of their missing health. So that means if they're missing 50% of their health, they're taking 5 to 25% more damage from everything you do, which is awesome. But in addition, enemies that are marked by the Mark of the Golden Crow are also going to get additional effects from your other abilities, such as Ricochet. If a Ricochet hits a marked target, they're going to be stunned for 1 second. Now, that only occurs once per Ricochet. If a Ricochet bounces and hits them multiple times, they're still only going to be stunned the first time it hits them. It will not re-stun them. It also has an interaction with his third ability, which is Dive Bomb. Dive Bomb is an excellent escape tool and an excellent engage tool. When you use it, you're going to jump up into the air, and you're going to look for a spot on the ground, and then you can dive to it. You have about 2 seconds to choose where you want to dive to. Now, while you're in the air, you can't be hit by almost anything. Some things weirdly can still hit you, like Sun Wukong's bull form can still knock you up somehow, even though you're in midair, but the vast majority of things cannot hit you while you're hovering. And you can hover for 2 seconds until you descend back down to the ground. Additionally, when you descend back down to the ground, you're going to deal 70 to 230 plus 60% of your physical power in damage to everything you hit. Now, if you hit a god that is marked by your mark of the Golden Crow, you're also going to knock them up. Now, that's what I'm talking about. You got a stun and you got a knock up. Not too shabby. Now that we've taken a look at his 3 main abilities, let's take a look at his ultimate, which is Sunbreaker. Sunbreaker is freaking sweet. What it is it's a massive AoE where you're going to, at your ground target, cause 9 suns to come crashing down from the sky, dealing 80 to 120 plus 25% of your physical power per sun, and it's going to hit every half second. Now that means that at max it's going to deal 1,080 plus 225% of your physical power if you can hit with every single sun, which is freaking awesome. And again, remember, enemies that are hit by your mark of the Golden Crow are going to be taking additional damage for every 10% of their missing health. Also, enemies that are marked by your mark of the Golden Crow will be slowed by 20% for a quarter second on every hit, which is going to keep them stuck in there just a little bit longer. Now, the thing about Sunbreaker is it is very easy to walk out of. You can just walk out of it. So in order to keep people locked down, you're going to probably want to depend on your support being able to group them together or getting them bottlenecked into tight spaces where it's harder for them to escape, such as using Odin's walls or Ares' ultimate that can pull them together, or Kabraken's walls, anything that can keep them locked down and in one place. That's the appropriate time to use your ultimate. Or if they don't see you and they don't know you're there, then you can, and they're in a kind of a bottleneck position, you can use it to either scare them off or push or zone them out in the direction you want them to go. So now that we've taken a look at his ultimate, let's take a look at how we're going to build Hou Yi. So Hou Yi can be built, he can be built many different ways, but I recommend doing the penetration and attack speed build, not crit. The reason we're not going to do crit is crit doesn't work with his passive terribly well. Like, the bonus damage from his passive weirdly isn't applied to crits for some reason. So what we're going to do instead is maximize his attack speed and his penetration so we can get the most out of his passive damage bonus. So what we're going to do is the first item we're going to pick up is Ninja Tabi. Finally, I don't recommend Warrior Tabi. We're going to get Ninja Tabi because it's going to give us 20 physical power, and it recently got an update to now give us 100 mana and 20% attack speed. That is freaking awesome. That's what I'm talking about, as well as, of course, the 18% movement speed. That 100 mana is going to help you out a lot in the early game, giving you some extra mana to mess around with while you're in lane, so you can stick around just a little bit longer, make sure you don't run out of mana when you really need it. After we get Ninja Tabi, we're going to pick up one of 2 items. If you want some early game boxing potential, you're going to pick up a Kaival. The Kaival is going to give you 30% attack speed, 10 physical penetration. Every successful basic attack increases your physical power by 10 and reduces your target's physical power from items by 10 for 3 seconds. This is your primary boxing glove if you're going to go and pick this up, because it's going to give you power and take power away from your enemies. This is when you're going to start to outbox other physical gods. However, something else you can do is go for Transcendence. Transcendence is way more expensive, so you're going to have to deal with that, and it doesn't start out terribly strong, but it is going to give you a lot of mana, some significant physical power, and going to give you some mana regen. But more importantly, it is a stack building item that is going to end up giving you absolutely ridiculous amounts of power in the late game. However, in the early game, your clear isn't that great. Ricochet isn't really that good at clear, at least not at first. So Transcendence might be difficult to acquire stacks on in the early game. That's why usually I recommend not going Transcendence at first. You can pick it up later and still get plenty of stacks. But you can pick up Transcendence in the early game to give you just a tremendous amount of mana and allow you to go ahead and build those stacks early and give you some better mid and late, give you some better mid to late game potential instead of just getting it in the late game. But whichever item you pick, the next item you're going to get is Executioner. Executioner is going to give you 30 physical power, 25% attack speed, and basic attacks against enemies are going to reduce their target's physical protection by 12% for 3 seconds, up to a maximum of 3 stacks. So that's going to give you 36% reduction of their physical protections. This is where you're going to start to just shred tanks. If you picked up a Kaival, it already has 10 physical penetration on it, so now you've got some serious pen, and now you're going to be able to really chew through the enemies, even if they've got some significant defenses. After you pick up Executioner, you're going to go for Aussie, another cheap item that's going to give us physical lifesteal, attack speed, and even more physical penetration. And if you drop below 35% health, you gain another 25% physical lifesteal for 5 seconds. This can only occur once every 15 seconds. So that's going to give you even more staying power. If you start to get really low, Aussie is going to kick in and allow you to stick around a little bit longer so you can get that extra little bit of lifesteal. Now, after you get Aussie, the next item you're going to get is Keen Size. Now, Keen Size is an excellent item. It's going to give you 40 physical power, 15% more attack speed, and on basic attack hits, you're going to deal physical damage equal to 4% of the target's maximum health. That is freaking awesome. It's got the power, it's got the attack speed, and the more health they have, the more damage you do. This is when you're going to start just chewing through tanks. Tanks, this is the point where you're going to start to really stand up to tanks and are going to be able to knock them down from nothing. That is what I am talking about. After we get Keen Size, the next item we're going to get is Masamune. Now, Masamune is just an excellent item for Hou-Yi. It's going to give you 50 physical power, which is huge, 10% movement speed, and it has an interesting passive. You deal additional physical power damage against guys with more maximum health than you, equal to 1 power for every 10 health difference, to a maximum of 50 power. That means that if a god has 500 more health than you, which with this build, since we have so little health, is going to be pretty common, especially if they're tanky, then this is going to give you an additional 50 power on your attacks and your abilities, which means that you're going to be dealing a tremendous amount of damage that is going to get buffed by Mark of the Golden Crow. So Masamune is the point at which you can kill tanks just as fast as you can kill just about anybody else. At this point, protections don't matter. You chew through just about everyone as though they were just a mage, unless their protections are just completely outrageous. But even then, you've got percentage penetration, so even then, that's only going to help them so much. Now, again, you can get a Transcendence instead of a Kaival in order to keep that power train running. A Kaival for the early game, Transcendence for the late game. If you did pick up a Kaival second, and once you get Masamune, you can then sell a Kaival and get Transcendence and start building those stacks. By the time you're in the late game, you can throw a Ricochet through a wave and pretty much clear it instantly. So you're going to be able to get stacks really, really fast. But only do that if it's getting to the late game and your attack power is starting to fall behind. Then you can switch to Transcendence. However, if you want to go for a more utility-oriented build, what you can do is build Ritual Dagger or Void Shield. Void Shield is going to reduce the physical protection of enemies within 55 units by 20, keeping that physical pen rolling. And it's also going to give you 40 physical protection and 30 physical power. This is just a really good item for Hou-Yi, giving you a little bit more staying power, increasing your boxing potential even further against enemy gods. Or you can get Ritual Dagger. Now, Ritual Dagger is basically the all-in-one utility item. It's got health, it's got cooldown reduction, it's got attack speed, it's got movement speed, it's got it all. And it's also got, whenever you use a relic, the duration of that relic's effects are increased by 50%. Now, on the subject of relics, what I like to generally get is either Sprint or Curse, and then Frenzy. And, of course, you can get Purification or Sanctuary if you need it. Purification for a CC-heavy team, Sanctuary for a burst-heavy team. Now, you can use Sprint in order to catch up to people and really chase them down and give your allies that bonus too, or allow you to get the hell out of there. Sprint's going to give you a lot of chase potential as well as cleansing slows, which can be a really useful ability if you're up against a team with a lot of slows. Or you can get Curse, especially if you're up against a team with healing, because Curse is going to slow the enemy down and it's going to reduce all healing they receive for 50% for the duration. And then Either after one of those two, I would recommend getting Frenzy. It's going to give you it's going to give you 20% additional power and 20% additional attack speed for 10 seconds, as well as 10 bonus damage towards objectives. That is freaking awesome. But wait, if you've gotten the Ritual Dagger, that goes from 10 to a 15-second Frenzy, a 5 to a 7.5-second Curse, a 5 to a 7.5-second Sprint. So getting Ritual Dagger can give you kind of an all-in-one utility item. If you find that other people on your team are out damaging you and you're starting to fall behind, or you're being relegated to a different role than you expected, getting Ritual Dagger can help you get some extra utility out of that item slot. Now, that isn't going to come up terribly often. You're probably going to be the main damage dealer most of the time, but hey, Ritual Dagger is a fun item, and on Hou Yi, it can also be good. You could also get it instead of Aussie if you for whatever reason you don't need the lifesteal because you've got a really good healer and you don't have really tanky targets, so you don't need the pen. Then you can get Ritual Dagger instead and give you that extra little bit of utility. As far as consumables go, a healing potion, mana potion, ward, sentry ward, and you're going to get Elixir of Power because you're the damage dealer. Elixir of Power is going to help you deal even more damage. Now that we've taken a look at how to build Hou Yi, let's take a look at his abilities and how we're going to level them. So the first thing we're going to level is Ricochet. We like getting that extra damage on that Ricochet, especially with that 40% damage bonus. We want this leveled up as fast as we possibly can so we can really start chewing through people and being able to poke into their backline by landing good Ricochet shots. After we get Ricochet, the next thing we're going to level is Mark of the Golden Crow, so we can start building that percentage damage increase for every 10% of their missing health. And then after that, we're going to get Dive Bomb. Yeah, the damage goes up pretty nicely, but it's only getting 60% of your physical power and scaling, and it's just not as useful to level that as it is to get that percentage damage bonus or get the huge amount of damage from your Ricochet, so we're leveling it last. We're also going to get Sunbreaker at every possible opportunity to maximize that damage. Now, for your first 3 levels, what I recommend doing is Ricochet, then Dive Bomb, then Mark of the Golden Crow. You want Ricochet first so you can get that early game poke, and you're going to want to get Dive Bomb second, so just in case you need to, you can get the hell out of there. You can get Mark of the Golden Crow second if you want to just go for the early game stuns, but I would recommend playing it safe and getting Dive Bomb second so you can get the hell out of there if things go sideways. So again, Ricochet, then Mark, then Dive Bomb, and pick up Sunbreaker at every opportunity. Now that we've taken a look at how to build and level Hou Yi, let's take a look at how he's going to perform in combat. Alright, now let's take a look at how Hou Yi is going to perform in combat. First thing we're going to do is pick up our Ninja Tabi, obviously. And the next thing we're going to do is, well, that Sobek can be super annoying. We're going to go ahead and pick up that Purification because getting hit by that Sobek, especially if our leap is down, will definitely spell our doom if they're on top of that game. So we are definitely going to go ahead and pick up Purification. Now we're going to go ahead and head on the lane. Now, in the early game, you don't have that much clear, and you don't have that much mana either. So I wouldn't use Ricochet to clear. You're going to need to rely on your ally, your support, to help you clear the wave, and use that Ricochet if you absolutely need the wave clear, but at least try and hit an enemy god in the process again, because it's kind of expensive and you don't got a lot of mana, even with the Ninja Tabi. The Ninja Tabi is helping you stay around a little bit longer, but again, don't clear that way if you don't absolutely have to. So in this early game, we've now got some enemies coming in the lane, and what we're going to do is instead of using our Ricochet off the bat, we're just going to use our basic attacks, and we're going to try and keep them at bay that way. And what we're going to do right here is they're getting into a team fight. We're going to throw a Mark of the Golden Crow right there on that Bastet. We hit her with the stun, stunning her for 1 second, which allowed our allies to absolutely just trample all over her face. And now we're going to go ahead and go to our actual lane, because now I'm realizing that I need to be in this lane. I wasn't paying attention. And we're just going to go ahead and shoot these guys. Oh, drew the aggro of the minions right there. That's not so bad. And apparently, Chiron also drew the aggro of the minions, but got killed by them in the process. Now we have marked Sobek with the Mark of the Golden Crow. We're going to go ahead and land a Ricochet on him just to kind of pressure him out of here. Just try and deal a little bit more damage. Just trying to, well, He's got minions blocking him right now, and now he doesn't. Let's see if we can't hop in and land on him, see if we can do a little bit. Oh, no, we're not going to be able to follow that up. No. Tried to get a ricochet, tried to land a ricochet. It almost hit him, but it didn't quite go far enough. That's okay. We're just going to stand back here, and we're just going to keep shooting into these minions right here. So now we've got an Ares who is helping us out, helping us clear this wave, which is very nice, because again, our wave clear is quite poor. We're going to throw a mark on Chiron right there. Ooh, Hades is chasing, or Ares is chasing. Let's see if, yes, we can. That's what I'm talking about right there. So what I was trying to do is I tried to line up a shot so I could get that maximum damage ricochet on it right there. And what I did is I bounced it off the left wall, then off of that pillar on the right, and then managed to hit him with the third attack. Or with the third line of the bounce for that 80% bonus damage. And as you can see, it absolutely wrecked his face. Now, landing that 1-2-3 shot is not very easy. It takes a lot of practice, but hey, it's definitely doable, as you just saw. And what I just did right there is I used my maximum range of that ricochet to hit that Bastet, and I was able to clean her up and get that kill for the team. So now we're going to go ahead and head back, and we're just going to head back out into lane. Now, we had enough money to pick up our Executioner, so we went ahead and picked it up. I remember I did say to pick up a Kaival first, but hey, if you got the money, go ahead, get Executioner. It's a nice little bonus, and if you got the money, there's no harm in picking that up first. So now we're just going to head back here. We're just going to shoot these minions right here. Well, let's go ahead and use a Ricochet, because they are pushed up rather far, and I don't like that. So we're going to go ahead and use our Ricochet right there just to clear out that wave a little bit. Let's see what we're going to do here is, that Chiron is coming in real close. We're going to go ahead and land our Ricochet on him because he dived too far and overextended. Then we're going to leap on this Sobek right here, and we're going to deal that damage and take him out as well, using that leap tactically, strategically in order to engage. Now remember, he was very low, so I knew I had a very good chance of being able to kill him with that. But remember, if you try and save it for a disengage if you absolutely need to. Now for this part, we're just going to try and take out these minions one at a time, and we're just going to now engage in trying to take out this tower. Now, of course, when you're taking out a tower as a hunter, you want to stand as far back as you can, and then you're also going to be trying to look down that lane and see when the enemies are coming. Like, they're coming right now. So what we're going to do is we're going to now back out. We are going to throw a mark on that Chiron, and we're going to shoot him. You know what? Actually, let's see. Let's clear out this minion wave right here. We're actually going to do... Nah, never mind. We're just going to go ahead and shoot this up, but we're just going to pepper him. We're just going to try and deal some damage right here. All right, here we go. What we're going to do is we're going to throw down our ultimate right here. See if we can... That Chiron ulted, and he's just stuck in the ultimate. That's okay. Let's throw a Ricochet right here, and yes, that is going to be able to kill that Sobek. Just exactly like that, using our leap to jump over. Now, I didn't think a single Ricochet was going to kill him. So what I did is I bounced it off of that wall to hit him while he was marked to get that percentile damage increase on the Ricochet, as well as the 40% damage bonus. And that definitely secured that kill. Using those bounce shots when you can in order to land that damage and be able to... And be able to secure those kills when they're low, make sure you get that last shot. Let's come over here and let's see what we can do about this Sobek. They're just charging forward. So we're just going to go ahead. Ooh, Ares pulling him in. We're going to go ahead and mark him. Oh, we missed the Ricochet. We missed the stun, but that's okay. We're going to go ahead and leap down on him. We're going to be able to get that kill. Chiron's going to push us back, but that's okay. We're going to stand back here. Chiron's being a little bit of a wuss. Oh, the Rizzy's being a little bit of a wuss. Look at this boxing potential right here. Look, he did virtually no damage to me, and I did a lot of damage to him. Now I am a lot higher level than him. But being able to steal his protections, I missed the 1-2-3 shot. That's unfortunate. But since we are stealing his protections, we are stealing his power and giving it to ourselves. That's going to give us a lot of boxing potential. So now that we have cleared that out, let's go ahead and head back to base, and let's pick up our Aussie. Now we've got some lifesteal on us, and we've got some serious penetration. So now we're going to head back here. Let's go ahead and take these out right here. At this point in the game, all you got to do is basic attack them. You'll clear them out, no problem. Let's go ahead and head back. So let's see what we got going on here. All right, it looks like, you know what? let's just go ahead and take out this Gold Fury right here. They're not paying attention to me right now. And as you can see, with nothing but Aussie, we've got no crits. We are still able to just basic attack this Gold Fury down by ourselves. Now, it is a 6-minute mark, and we are a little bit over-leveled here, but it is definitely possible. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to mark that Sobek. We're going to throw our ultimate down, being able to absolutely wreck into them, throw a ricochet through that Bastet in order to secure that kill, and that is what I'm talking about. And look, we're getting this life steal, giving us that life back. That is what I am talking about, and that is going to allow us to stick around just a little bit longer, see if we can't throw a ricochet through them just to clear them out. Oh, we're going to get hit by the tower. We need to jump out of that real quick. Let's see if we can't just knock this tower down before they can get back, and I think we can. Yeah, we got it. All right. Now let's go ahead and... You know what? Let's go ahead and take these guys out. Look, with our lifesteal at this point, it doesn't really matter. We can easily take out just about any camp and go ahead and pick up that red bonus. All right, now let's go ahead and head over here. Now, see, we were super low. Our Aussie giving us that excellent lifesteal in order to allow us to stick around. Let's go ahead and steal their experience camp while we're here in order just to give us even more lifesteal, give us some of that HP back. Now we're back above half. That is what I'm talking about. Let's see. You know what? Let's just take out these minions right here. They've got a lot of minions here, but that's okay. That Sobek isn't really paying attention. So we're just going to go ahead and get even more life back off of these guys. Now we're at 75%. That's what I'm talking about. Let's throw a mark on him. We're going to ricochet through him just to get that stun. Look at all that damage increase. You see it was at 190, got all the way up to 257 because that mark of the Golden Crow is giving us so much bonus damage from his missing health. That is what I'm talking about. We're going to go ahead and pick up the first two pieces of our Kinsai. And let's go ahead and get Frenzy. Just in case we need it, we can go ahead and pop it. And let's go ahead and head back out here. Now, let's go ahead and take our experience camp again, just because we're here and we can. Take them out. It's really, really quick. That's what I'm talking about. All right, now let's see if we can't land another ricochet trick here. That is the double shot. Let's see if we can be perpendicular to the wall. Oh, and we do hit him both times. We hit him with 2 shots of that ricochet. We hit the Guan Yu. I was aiming for the Bastet, but I did hit the Guan Yu twice with that shot. And you see it does deal the damage twice. Even though it doesn't stun twice, it will do that damage twice. Let's go ahead and hit you with the ricochet and take you out as well. Thanks for the healing, Raul. That's very nice of you. And let's go ahead and let's activate Frenzy. And we're going to go ahead and use that Frenzy. Look at this. Look at how fast we're attacking. Look at just how much we're taking down this tower. And yeah, we're getting hit by it, but we're going to be able to take out that Phoenix. Easy peasy. That's what I'm talking about. So that is using your Ricochet, as I just saw, to your maximum advantage. If you can line yourself up perpendicular to the wall and hit them with 2 bounces, that is excellent. That is going to do tremendous damage if you can land it. So it's a good thing to try and practice. Now we're going to go ahead and... I think I just accidentally picked up a piece of Stonecutter Sword, which is not smart. I don't know why it's... I think it... I'll check it again in a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head back out here. This Chiron, there's just no way. He's going to get marked with Golden Crow. He's going to get stunned. We're just going to do so much freaking damage. You see how huge those damage numbers just kept going up, and that is due to Mark of the Golden Crow giving us those huge tag bonuses. Now let's go ahead and head back over here. See if we can't... Oh, we're going to go ahead. Yeah, let's use our ult. Let's go ahead and land on top of them. We're going to take out both of them just like that. Can we land a ricochet? No. I just kind of threw a wild ricochet just to see if it wouldn't have hit anyway, but just trying to throw out a wild shot, see if I could have hit him with that, prevent him from backing, but it didn't quite work. Now let's go ahead and head back over here. Let's go ahead and land him. Okay, line up perpendicular to the wall, and you see we did hit him with both of those shots, and it just absolutely wrecked through his HP. That is what I'm talking about. Let's go ahead and see if we can't shoot through this. Let's just shoot that Chiron. Oh my lord, look at all that. That is what I'm talking about, just that huge, huge damage. Let's go ahead and land some shots on him. And let's just start peeling into this Phoenix right here. All right, that is what I'm talking about. We are absolutely railing into this Phoenix right now. Our basic attack is very, very nice. It's very large, and our attack speed is so quick. Let's go ahead and land on top of her, kill her real quick. See this Sobek right here. Let's go ahead and, yeah, we're just going to basic attack him to death. He can't stand to us. We've just got too much penetration. We've got too much attack speed, and we're just chewing through his health right there. Yeah, I don't think so. Nice try, though, Chiron. All right, let's land Mark of the Golden Crow. Let's see if we can hit both of them with one shot. Yes, we can. That's what I'm talking about. That huge range on that ricochet. Being able to absolutely wreck through both of them at once. And then we're just going to chew into this Titan right here. Now, that's what I'm talking about. So that is the basis of how to play Hou Yi. What it really boils down to is landing those ricochets and not being afraid to box enemies as long as they're not too far ahead of you in levels. Remember, you can go for a cheap build, you can go for an expensive build. The cheap build is going to help you in the early and mid game. The expensive build is going to help you in the late game. So you just need to choose what you're going to be doing this game and then pick accordingly. So that is the basics of how to play Hou Yi. I hope you guys had a good time watching this. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to leave them in the comment section below. I love it when you guys subscribe. And hey, you know what? If you've got a god that you'd like to see a god for, go ahead and, give me a comment. Send me something. I would be glad to do a guide for just about any guide you can think of. I love doing these videos. So, again, thanks you guys for watching so much. And y'all have a good one now, you hear?